Wait, is that American Airlines?
Wow.
By then it'll be time to come home again.
So the Botanic Gardens, if you want to go and check out some beautiful tropical plants, you'll see a few today, but yeah, lots of interesting stuff, a lot of exotic, weird and wonderful plants are growing in there. Coming up on the left, there's a good sign that you're in North Queensland. No, he's gone. Look, someone's stolen this banana trailer. I was just there yesterday. Up here's nearly every day there's a banana trailer there. The signs were still out, but the trailer was gone.
Yeah.
My sister Margaret lives in Cross Harbour. They've just done
All right, folks, we'll sort of leave the main part of the city centre. We'll leave that behind us. There's about 10 or 12 at any one time. I grew up out of the mouth of this river, a place called Mason's Beach off to the right. Awesome spot to grow up. If you're wondering, this is sugarcane. I'll talk about sugarcane later on when I get everybody on board. Yeah, Mason's Beach, what a great time. Actually, I was out there yesterday with my young son. We were out riding the bikes. It's a good safe spot to ride bikes without getting run over. So you'll notice once we pass Ellis Beach, the vegetation opens out considerably. A lot less in the way of trees, a lot more grass, and the trees, you know, you can see there's a rainforest tree through here, big lines of old mango trees lining the road as well. So from here through to just near Port Douglas, there's a bit of a rain shadow caused by that McAllister Range jutting out there. So we'll get about half the rainfall that Cairns will get. I'll go through rainfall with you later on. Some people may not want to hear any more about rainfall, but tough. Country, they had lots and lots of food. Now because this is more open country than around Cairns and Mossman, this is where you'll get larger macropods. So of course you get the agile wallabies. You also sometimes get The grey kangaroos showing up here. There's more room for them here. They won't bump into so many trees. Now between the road and the beach to the right, you'll see that we'll go across the Mowbray River. I'll slow down, I can't stop on the bridge. But out on the left, there'll be some exposed mud banks. Now we may or we may not. There's a decent chance that we'll see a crocodile, all three. Yeah, on the left side, yeah. So it'll be sort of out on the left and up the Mowbray River, sort of left and left front as we go across. I'll go flat out to get there, and then there's nobody behind me. So I can slow down a bit as we go across the bridge. I'm sure you'll get to see some crocs today. It's a good time of year to see them. The water's nice and cold, the sun's nice and warm. Spend a fair bit of their time out of the water at this time of year. Yes. Lying parallel to the water. Out on the right, if you're wondering, that's a prawn farm.
Oh.
Saltwater prawn farm. In Australia, with the arrival of the first fleet in 1788, they brought some pieces of sugar cane to plant them, because you don't grow it by seed, you plant it as a stalk of cane. So they brought some of those and they tried to grow it around Sydney, and it was a bit of a failure there. It's too cold around Sydney, and they were having a bit better success as they moved up the coast. But it wasn't until 1860 the first successful cane harvest and milling took place in Brisbane. There's a harvester on the right. So that was 1860. They realised as they got into these more tropical areas, the cane grew really well. So Cairns was the first place in Northern Australia to have a sugar mill in 1883. That was built by Chinese who come here for the gold. But they also had experience with farming various things. So the Hot Wah, all the Chinese cane farmers around Cairns, formed a syndicate, the Hot Wah Syndicate, and they built a sugar mill. I think the first crush produced 800 tonnes of sugar. And they were on, then it was off and running. Cane, land was cleared, cane was planted. Up here in Mossman, the first sugar mill, I think they started crushing about 1895. And it's a big part of life in northern, North Queensland, down at central Queensland as well, wherever there's half decent rainfall, all the way down to the northern New South Wales area. Sugar is our second biggest export crop in Australia. After wheat, we export sugar. The harvest generally somewhere in the vicinity of 35 million tonnes of sugar cane, and that will produce, depending on the season, and there might be a bit more cane, about between 4.5 and 5 million tonnes of sugar. And we'll export about 85% of that. Queensland gets a bit. The new trade agreement with the UK, we'll see from next year our sugar also going to the UK. We're also going to be sending tea to the UK. That's like oyster Eskimos, isn't it? So getting in on the tea market. Most of Australia's tea is grown here in North Queensland. If you like your Kuranda tea, it's about an hour and a quarter southwest of Cairns. We'll go through a little tea estate later on. See out on the right, see the dramatic cliffs of Mossman Gorge?
Whoa.
Yeah, we're not going that far up into the gorge though. Well, what I'll do, I'll talk about when we leave Mossman Gorge, rather than trying to condense it, I'll talk about cane growing and the harvesting and sort of how they make sugar. Because we'll be up in the gorge pretty soon. See on the left, see that field there, and see all the little green shoots coming up?
Yep.
So that's a ratoon crop. That's regrowing. I'll do a little bit. Sugarcane planted as a stalk of cane, it's called a billet, but when they put it in the ground it's called a set. And when they harvest it, and it's cut in the harvester, it's called a billet again. Ever-changing, mysterious piece of sugarcane. So it's probably about, say, 15 centimetres long, maybe a bit longer, a piece of cane planted horizontally in the ground. It's got a couple of eyes in there where the joins are, and the cane stools come up out of there. It'll go through for about a year to the flowering stage, and when it flowers, the flowers will be up there for about a month, and then they fall off, just the stalks left. Roughly, that's about
It said it looked like I'm on holiday.
Hopefully that's all of us. Let's go so pretty. Yeah, let's go so. We miss some people, they'll just want to take the next bus. Miss out on food. Surely you're gonna run out of. Oh.
Water supply comes from up there above the
taken 200 kilometres up the Burdekin River, south of Townsville, in their Ayr and Home Hill. 200 kilometres upstream, not much chance.
Female. Come on, someone ask me, please. Looks like my mother-in-law.
Oh no!
We know it's a female because we've seen her nesting last year. To be honest, a lot of the drivers thought it was a male crocodile, so its nickname was Bruce. But now it's a female. We definitely know it's a female, so it's Bruce Jenner. Just trying to heat up. That's about the average size for a female crocodile in a Daintree. The females get to about that size and they won't grow much bigger than that, maybe a foot to the maximum. 3.5 metres is the largest female. The males crocodiles can grow to in excess of over 8. This is a 12 metre boat. 8.86 metres is the largest one ever recorded in Australia. So it's a pretty big croc, but they're very rare these days. I have heard of it. They reckon there's a 7 metre crocodile in the river here somewhere. I haven't seen it. Could be hearsay, whatever. But she's big enough to take us.
Oh.
Bruce, she had 36 hatchlings this year. I mean, that's the best I've ever seen, 36. There's a few of them around now. I've seen, they generally come out of the egg around about March, the little ones, the little hatchlings. So she had 36. They lasted for around about 3 weeks and they slowly moved off, and we're spotting only 1 or 2 of them now. From egg stage to adult stage, 1% will survive. 1%. So that's not much. I've been doing this gig for 20 years when they let me out. And I reckon it's pretty level, the number. Up or down. We had a death around about 8 years ago and the authorities took about 6 big crocs out. That's devastated the population for thousands of years. No, we don't tag them. There's one crocodile in the river, I'll show you her later. She's been tagged. They did a research around about 15 years ago and they tagged 6 and issued as the only one. Got around about a 10% chance of survival. Fish will eat it, birds will eat it, crabs will eat it, turtles will eat it, crocodiles will eat it.
Oh.
Like we were originally, 2 months ago we were spotting 15, 20 of them. Now we're lucky to spot 1 or 2. That's what it is, that's what happens. But the good thing about the little crocodiles is you can take a photograph of it and get it developed the size you want. Yeah, throw its head down and grab the prey. They're always nice and shiny. I've never seen a dirty one yet. They've got oil in it. For that reason, we give them a bit of a rustle up around the early 1900s.
It looks like Taz.
Is he heading downstream or upstream? He's heading downstream. Thank you. We're going to skedaddle, guys. There's a big croc in front, so we just got to get to him. A couple of minutes in the middle of the in front, and that jetty there, right next to it, is the public boat ramp. Have a look at the people standing on the jetty there.
Uh-oh.
And we're only about a couple of minutes away from them people. His name's Scarface.
He wants, because he's a
All
serial.
them scars around his face is that's actually his bone. It's an injury that hasn't healed up, and that's the side of his bone. They headbutt each other. They come out of the water and slap heads, and that's what he's done. And he's got no teeth. He's toothless, this one. Because he has been slapping heads, he's broken all his teeth. I reckon he's going to come out on the bank. No, it's up to him.
So he just swallows his food whole now, basically.
Yeah. He had a pig last week. He's going to come and sit, but he's got no bank he can come and sit on, so we're not probably going to see him. He's going to turn around.
Wow. I saw a crocodile swimming.
give him around about 60 years old. He's probably in excess of 400, 500 kilo. Hard to say. You wouldn't have a hope with him. Here's the male. Here's the alpha male. He's got a territory around about 20 kilometres, I reckon. Hard to say.
Other females.
Yeah, they are, but not 20 kilometres. 1 to 3 to 5 kilometres maybe.
He's going for the other boat. That looked tasty.
He's like.
When they go under backwards so they don't leave a ripple. They go like that. And when they go under, they've got a third eyelid. They've got 3 eyelids, upper and lower like us, and one that goes sideways. So when they submerge, it's a visible eye. They can see underwater.
Oh.
I reckon he's going to go over into Forest Creek. We won't see him for the rest of the day.
Sure he's not making a beeline for that guy.
We used to have a crocodile called Gummy. He was the last alpha. He had no teeth. Then we had Fat Albert. Yeah, he's going straight up into Forest Creek.
God, you're making me nervous, I think, Grandad. It's going in the drain for sure.
$32 return trip. Not a bad scare.
10 minutes class. My bag. Now I gotta protect my bag by putting it down. Yep. Oh no. So that's
Thanks
what.
very much for joining us, guys and girls. All the rest of you people that have driven your vehicles to the cruise centre, stay on board.
Like front to back, longitudinally, front to back, it's very, very hard. If you could sneakily come up behind it and squeeze the side, you could push that even with your fingers. So inside there, it's like a honeycomb structure. It's not bone though, it's probably keratin, I think. And also like a foam, like a mattress foam. And for many years, even when I was a kid growing up in Cairns, we were taught that cassowaries were dangerous and they would headbutt you. And then years later I learned they're not from Sydney. They won't headbutt you. I
If you
don't think
provide
I've ever heard of a cassowary headbutting anyone. They're from Ipswich. What they do with that cask is probably the last 15 years they've really found out how it's used. It's used as like a hearing aid, if you like a listening tool. Because a cassowary, the vocalisations depends. I've been on the end of a hissing cassowary, which was not fun, but there was a fence. It was quite terrifying to see that unfold. But we had a fence between us, so I'm still here. But they when they're out looking for another bird, they vocalise it. It's a really low frequency, like 27 hertz, like right down the bottom end of human hearing, and it's like a like that, but really deep, booming, and the vibrations from that can travel through the air and be picked up by that casque which sits right on top of the head, the brain, sort of next to the ear holes, I forget what they call them. And yeah, they can pick up that low frequency call and they can respond if they want. That's how they find each other in this dense forest. Also, they dispel heat from the casque during the summer months. You've got a big bird covered in feathers in really hot, steamy forest. They can pump extra blood through the casque and it radiates heat. They've done some infrared filming showing the cassowaries pushing heat out of their body through the casque. Just down on the right here, you see some massive ferns. Along here, you'll see some big native ginger as well, and you've got those great big ferns down there on the right hand side. They're called the king fern. They're the world's biggest ferns. They're not only found in Australia but through Southeast Asia, and they can get over 7 meters in length, those fronds. Yeah. They reckon they've been on the earth for about 300 million years. Ratites, the cassowary, all those big birds, they reckon about 80 million years. Alright, so you've got the casque, then you go down, you've got the neck with the beautiful red and blue colouring on the neck for the southern cassowary. The northern cassowary of New Guinea, lots of beautiful birds of paradise up there. The northern cassowary didn't want to be left behind, so it's got like a fluorescent orange and fluorescent blue, sometimes shades of purple or shades of green on the neck as well. The neck leads down to the body. The body is covered in shaggy black feathers. The adult birds have the black plumage. The younger birds are a bit different. I'll go through that soon. So it's really quite striking to see one walk out on the road, the glossy black plumage and the brightly coloured neck, and they're just so primitive. When you get to go online again, just have little search cassowary leg or cassowary foot. There's one with a vet holding the leg, and you would swear that it came from Jurassic Park movie. Yeah, unbelievable. You can see the dinosaur coming out there. Yeah, amazing. So the legs go down to feet. What a surprise! They've got 3 forward-pointing toes. Each toe has a claw, but the inner toe is just mostly claw, and that claw can be up around 14 centimetres long. There's only one, but it's a good one. Only one on each foot, yeah. And they're really, really sharp. So that's their main weapon when they're cranky or defending themselves, when they're attacking or defending. They jump in the air and they kick out and down. And they're really, really powerful legs. As you can imagine, their legs are stronger. Holding up an 80-kilo bird that can't fly can have pretty good legs. So they kick out and down, and if they get you, they're not ninjas, you know, they're not aiming for your heart or your throat or whatever. But we've had one fatality in Australia. You've got to understand, this is a bird with a small little brain like a walnut. So they're not adept at fighting like that, but they certainly put everything into it, and if they manage to kick you, they can certainly open you up. One fatality back in 1926 at Mossman. 15-year-old boy decided to chaser cassowary. He fell over, the bird jumped all over him. More recently, about 3 years ago in the US, there's a guy, he was a breeder of exotic animals, and not Tiger Joe, and he was killed by, he had a pair of northern cassowaries from New Guinea, and he was killed by the male of those birds. And we have attacks reasonably often. They'll come around, like especially around the edge of the forest. If you've got a dog, little dogs or whatever, they hate dogs. That's their enemy. So they will try and kill your dog. They'll kick your door and everything, try and get your dog. Cow bay, yes, where we park all the cows. Charging ports there. So that's the sort of physical description of the bird. Folks, on looking up the road about 150 metres or so, just being aware of, if one's going to walk out. As we drive, please just keep checking the forest as we drive. And all I want to hear you say is just yell out, stop. Probably.
We could be anything, anything. I can take your pain away from you, from you.
They're going to the ice cream place. Lucky we got through there. Asian out there in 2018. Look out, all of the gingers and small trees and everything. It was just like a rocky canyon, and the guardrails were all underwater. And that was in the dry season. It's been rather unseasonal rain. I think about 300 mil in about 12 hours or something. once again on the left now, you've got the beautiful big king ferns that are there. Native ginger as well. At least there's one bus zone left without a car in it. Let's go to this one. All right, folks.
How deep is the river? Quite deep.
I thought we were just sitting here. I thought we were just sitting.
Quite relaxing on the ferry. You could just pay for an hour and just go back and forth. All survived there, it's still okay.